We're doing something a little bit different today, and something that I haven't done for a long time. I have a roast here. We're going to trim it up a little bit. And I just need to take a little tiny bit out here where there's silver skin, which always runs through here. And it'll go back a little ways, so I'm going to take a tiny bit more out. I'm going to get the rest of it right here, and that's about as far back as I want to go. We're going to put a salt cap on this. And you've heard of salt caps before, I'm sure. Used to be very, very popular. But what they would do in the past is they would take rock salt, and they would put rock salt over top of something, a big roast, and throw it in the oven and let it go. And after they're done, they would brush the rock salt off.
Isn't it like the same concept when you go into a Spanish restaurant and they've cooked the whole fish in a pile of salt?
Yes, they do that. They do that. Same concept, making a crust for fish, for chicken, for beef. But what I'm going to do is a little bit different. I'd like to say it's old school, and it is old school. So first thing we're going to do is we trim that. Next, normally we'd salt it, but instead we're going to salt it. So I have some fresh oregano there. You see that? Now I'm going to put a little bit of salt there. Think that'll work? No? No? Okay. So now we have some salt here, a little bit of salt. I think that might be enough, maybe not. So let's add a little tiny bit more. Okay, a little bit more salt.
A little bit.
Tiny bit more salt. See that there? Oh, that's not a tiny bit of salt? So the oregano that I have in here now is going to be mixed with the salt. Now I have probably about, I'd say 4 or 5 cloves of garlic. That's going in there too. Simply organic, grilling seasoned steak type thing. Let's add some of that too. Pepper. Let's add some pepper. As much as you want. This is where we are right now. That much salt there. We're going to put a tiny bit on the bottom because we're going to need to season the bottom a little bit. That should do it right there. Now, I'm going to add a little tiny bit of oil, and I'm going to add a tiny bit of oil to this. Very, very little oil. It's mostly salt. Then we're going to take some water. Now the amount of water is just enough to make a paste. We mix some of that, not quite there, a little bit more. We want just enough paste to coat it. And that's about it right there. Basically what we're doing right now, we're just taking this roast, and the whole concept is that the salt, along with all the ingredients that's in the salt, is going to season this like you've never had before. I've seen it done on prime rib mostly. It's been done on tenderloin, New York strip like this. The piece where it touches is so flavorful you would not believe it. So we're going to put this into the oven. I've got a 410 degree oven. This is going in until it's done, and then you'll see the rest. It's out of the oven. Been about an hour and 5 minutes. This is what it looks like. So the salt cap right here. I need to show you this right away because it has to rest. One this size, probably about 10 to 15 minutes, so that it doesn't overcook. And I'm taking the salt cap off right now. This is a little, using the Himalayan salt, it's a little bit brittle. If you use regular salt, it's not quite as brittle, but that's what it looks like right there. You can see that it kind of breaks apart. The salt stays together. The smell, it smells good. So all those flavors will go into the roast. The one thing about a roast like this is you can't use the drippings. You have to make a separate sauce to go with it, which we did, and we will bring that out in a minute once it's done resting. Regular temperature, internal temperature, you can use a thermometer to check that. I like to go 118, 120 for rare, 125 or so for medium rare, and you can keep going up from there. And then realizing that it is going to continue to cook in case like this, it's going to probably take another oh, I'd say it might go up another 5 to 10 degrees as it sits. But I will cut into this probably in about 10 minutes and then we'll see the rest of it. Okay, it's rested. I took it off that platter because it looked horrible, the platter. It always does when it's done. I'm not using the juice from that. So we've got this here, and I'm going to cut a little bit of the fat off because I don't think we need all the fat. It's coming off. Now I have some roast baby russet potatoes, some roast asparagus, and a porcini mushroom sauce that we made. And we are going to cut pieces off here. Show you what it looks like.
Gorgeous.
You can have this with jus if you want, and some horseradish sauce, or just plain horseradish. I decided to have it with the, it's a very thin demi-glace with porcini mushrooms. We did not use, sometimes we'll put things like marsala, brandy or something in it. We decided to forego it. Madeira, we decided to forego that today. We're going to have a simple way. So it came out pretty nicely with the cap on it. The cap came off, and you can see that it has a nice color. We're going to taste it and let you know how it is. Okay, there you go. New York strip.
Porcini mushroom jus.
So good.
This is perfect.
I love porcini mushroom.
Yeah, you may as well, because if you'd eat the sauce on a spoon by itself.
Okay. Oh, come on, Dennis.
And yeah, where's the pepper?
Gotta have pepper.
Good God, man.
What's wrong with me?
There we go.
Okay.
Respectable now.
Christine? That's a shame.
No, the seasoning goes all the way through.
Yeah, it does.
When you first brought it up to me years ago, it made no sense. And then you did one.
It doesn't make sense,
And
does
it
it?
makes sense.
It didn't make sense to me first time
It's
either.
the most incredible. The thing is, it's not difficult. That's the beauty of this. This is not difficult.
This was real easy to do.
Anybody could do this, and it's like any cut of meat. You know, if you want to do this with a pork, with a pork roast. I mean, anything. You've got this with any cut of beef. I just really cannot get over.
So we're having this with some potatoes and asparagus, and we are about to enjoy this. Thank you so much for watching.
Merry Christmas, people.
Merry Christmas. And
more sauce.
gotta have some more sauce on it.
Always have to have some more sauce.
Okay, great. Hope you're enjoying your day. Bye-bye now.